Hey, what's going on, everybody? Huvi 186 back again with another live stream. Huvi's Combat Sports Talk Episode 3. Thank you guys for watching. Right now, I'm just gonna be doing some practice mode with Andy Bogard, the forgotten Bogard, in my opinion. But first, let me. I'm actually gonna look at the moveset from the internet. Oh, hold on. Okay. And as you can see, another episode of Huvi Combat Sports Talk. This is gonna be wrestling, pretty much all wrestling this week. A couple things happened, and I decided to, I decided to do it on that. Um, let me, um, I'm just looking for his moveset real quick. Hold on, give me one moment. Okay, so yeah, man. So let's talk about, pretty much a couple things to talk about today. First things first, we're going to be talking about the G1 Climax, the finals of the G1 Climax. Um, I got a chance to watch. I didn't watch it live, obviously, because I live in Florida, and the show started, I think, 2 o'clock in the morning. So obviously, I was sleeping, so I wasn't able to watch it. But I did watch it. When did I watch it? I watched it a few days ago. So, I got a chance to watch it. Like, for anyone who don't know what it is, the G1 Climax is probably the the biggest wrestling tournament going. At least, the one going consistently. It's a round robin. Oh, no, 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 not round robin. It's it's pretty much a tournament style. It's not round robin. It's pretty much a tournament where it pits two groups of wrestlers, and they wrestle each other one time each tournament day. So it's pretty much a league. It's pretty much a league where you're in a league and you're playing and you're fighting and you're going up against other people in the league, and the two guys from each league who has the most points available will fight in the final. So pretty much the point system, they have a point system where a win gets you 2 points, a draw gets you 1 point, and obviously anything else, you get no points for a loss, obviously. So the thing's been going on since this is the 28th version. So I think the first one was, I believe, was in '93. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So the first one happened like 28 years ago, and this one, this year, this year's one just finished, and I can't really speak on if this was the best one ever because obviously, I just got New Japan World this year, so obviously I haven't gone back and watched every single G1, but one of the main reasons why I got New Japan World was to be able to watch this tournament, because this tournament features some of the best wrestling you'll ever see in your life. The drama, the scope, the scale of it, it really is something to behold. And even though I haven't been able to watch every match, the match that I did watch, that I have seen, has been great. Like some of my favorite matches that I've seen so far has been Hiroki Goto versus Tomohiro Ishii. I saw that match. What else did I watch? I watched Naito versus Kenny Omega. That was the first night. That match was incredible. And you also use it. It pretty much is a tournament used to do a couple things. One, to create more challenges for like champions. Because normally, unlike like other tournaments, like most other tournaments, and in the G1, the champion, normally not only the world heavyweight champion, but also the the secondary title holders are in the tournament. So you'll have the world champion. This year was Kenny Omega. You'll have the United States champion, which was Juice Robinson, and well, the only champion that wasn't there was Chris Jericho. That's obvious. Like Chris Jericho, at this day and age, can't be doing these type of tournaments and shit like that. But yeah, normally, and what would happen is it normally. This I don't think it's always the case, but normally, if a champion gets pinned in the G1, like he won't lose the title, but he'll have to defend that belt, in a later date against the dude who beat him in the G1. So you have that. Like the winner of the G1 climax gets a title shot, a guaranteed title shot at the Tokyo Dome. So the January 4th show, which is like their WrestleMania, they get that automatic title shot. So, and the champion, I don't know what happens if the champion wins, but normally, normally that's the idea behind the tournament, is to get the number one contender. Also to set up matches before then, because obviously between August and January, you got what, like 6-7 months, so obviously you need to create contenders, and the G1 Climax does that as well. Not just for the world title, but also for other secondary titles like the United States title, like the Never Openweight title as well, which Goto holds. So the finals, after a full month, the final was between Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kota Ibushi. And I watched the match, and for one, it's my match of the year. It's my match of the year, and also it also featured one of the greatest striking exchanges that I probably ever seen. Like, I remember obviously, I remember watching Joe and Kobashi in Ring of Honor with their Slapfest, and obviously Kobashi and Kinsei Sasaki. I was actually watching that match earlier today, and their like chop fest was, their chop exchanges were amazing. And this one, I don't know if I'll say it was better, but it was definitely unique. First off, Tanahashi, Ibushi was just slapping the shit out of him, out of Tanahashi, and then Tanahashi just kind of fired up, and he didn't exchange with Ibushi. He just started like moving forward, and Ibushi was just slapping the shit out of him back after, just keep slapping him, and kind of like forced him to the corner. And then they went back to the center of the ring, and then they started like slapping the shit out of each other. Tanahashi was getting the better of the exchanges, and then Ibushi just clocked him with this clothesline, and the crowd went nuts, and the announcers went nuts. And let me also say that before I continue with this, I've never always been the biggest fan of Kevin Kelly. Not because not because I don't think he's a good announcer. I think he is a good announcer. But he's not. When I think about announcers, he's not one of the guys that top announcer. He's not one of the guys I think of. But holy hell, he was awesome in this tournament. Like the matches that I was able to see, like that dude, he did his thing. Him and the team with him and Rocky Romero, and I believe the other guy, the dude who's doing the translation, was Chris Charlton. I know he's part of the post wrestling, so I think he was there too for a couple for the shows. Those three did a very good job, especially Kevin Kelly, man. He did a excellent job of just calling the action, man. And when you have this day and age where you have guys who are terrible at announcing, like Josh Matthews in Impact, like the bums over there at Raw, like it's good to hear a play-by-play guy do his job. You know what I mean? Like he did a great job. But anyways, back to the match. Ultimately, Tanahashi got the win by hitting 3 high-fly flows. And I saw a couple people complaining about Tanahashi winning. In my opinion, I'm more than okay with it. So one, the match was awesome. Like the match was incredible. 2, obviously Tanahashi still, I would probably say is still the ace of the company, even though like Okada obviously is technically the ace of New Japan. But you know, obviously, when you look at a guy like Tanahashi, who's been their top guy for so many years, you know, I still consider him to be the ace of the company. You know, he's still popular. I would say like the crowd was excited. If I had to say who was the crowd going for more, it was probably going more towards Tanahashi than Ibushi. You know, and it wasn't like, oh, you know, Ibushi wasn't popular or nothing like that. It's just you know, Tanahashi. I thought that the crowd was more into Tanahashi than they were Ibushi. So yeah, so I mean, ultimately, he's gonna have a great match against Kenny Omega if he makes it there. You know, I'll talk about that a little bit later. But you know, so I don't see why Tanahashi I don't know why some people were complaining about Tanahashi winning. You know, I think some people wanted Ibushi to win. You know, I did too to an extent, but you know, like I said, the match that he had against Omega was I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. Apparently, that match was awesome. I'm sorry, man. I'm kind of doing it. Yeah, the match he had with Kenny Omega was apparently great, and they have time to do that match. At least I think they do. I know Omega contract is up in January, but they have time. They have time to do that match. You know what I mean? So it's not a big deal. Plus, you know, Ibushi already beat him in the tournament. So I would assume. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna do this, but I assume that they might put Omega and Ibushi in a match. You know, maybe before the finals, you know what I mean, before the Tokyo Dome show. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. And you know, Omega and Tanahashi is fairly a fresh match. I don't think they've had a one-on-one match before. Like no, not. I don't think they've had obviously not a main event match before. They haven't really faced each other all that much. I can't remember the time that Omega would have fought Tanahashi. I don't know if they had I don't know if they had a IC title match or nothing like that. I don't remember off the top of my head. I can't remember. But yeah, this is a fresh matchup between the two men. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like the Ibushi Omega match, it can happen down the line. So it's not a big deal if Ibushi didn't win. I'm happy that Tanahashi won. So you have that, and also on the show, pretty much Tomohiro Ishii challenged Kenny Omega for the title. So what they normally do is that they let the champion, you know, if they lose in the tournament, they have to fight to do who they beat for the title. So Ishii beat Omega. I think he was the first one to beat Omega in the tournament because Omega was going through everybody at first. I think one of the first, I want to say 5-6 matches, and then he lost to Ishii. So Ishii pretty much challenged him on the card. So they're going to be wrestling each other probably at the Destruction Tour, I think. So you had that going on. So fast forward to I don't know when the announcement happened, but I just watched it on Twitter. Now the thing is, when you win the G1 Climax, you get the title shot at Wrestle Kingdom. And the thing is that the guy who wins the G1 Climax, he can put that dude, I don't have time, man. Like after this, I'm gonna go. I have to go out, so you know I don't really have time, man. I'm sorry. So yeah, like I was saying, what was I saying? Shit. Okay. So the challenge, the guy who wins the G1 Climax, he has to defend his contract basically against somebody of his choosing. And you know, Tanahashi, I guess he was in a. Hey, what's up, Nelly? Hey, man, listen. Like I said, man, I can't really play you right now, man. Like I'm doing this, plus I have to I'm going out right after this. So once I get this done, then I have to go somewhere. So you know, maybe another time. I'll message you when I'm playing Street Fighter. I got you, bro. Yeah, absolutely, man. I got you. All right. Okay. So yeah, so Tanahashi, he gets to pick his opponent on. He gets to pick his opponent to wrestle. And you know what I saw on Twitter was the guy who he chose to wrestle was Okada, Kazuchika Okada. Now, for those of you who don't know who he is, he's essentially the longest reigning IWGP champion of all time. Yeah, I'm talking about New Japan right now. Yeah, so he's the IWGP champion. He was the longest reigning IWGP champion. He had recently lost the title to Kenny Omega. You know, this dude is, I would say Okada is the best. I mean, I would say Okada is the best wrestler in the world, in my opinion. So you know, and obviously Tanahashi and Okada have a deep. And I don't disagree with you, man. Kenny Omega, that dude's badass, man. I'm a big fan of Kenny Omega. Been for a long time. So Tanahashi and Okada have a big time rivalry with each other. In fact, Okada first title win was against Tanahashi, and became a star. You know what I mean? Became a star because of Tanahashi. Bullet Club for life. I agree. Yeah. So you know. So yeah, they have a big time rivalry with each other. Now the reason why this matchup with Okada is significant is obviously it continues the rivalry, and also the thing that I think a lot of people may not realize is that Tanahashi has not beaten Okada, and I would probably say in like a couple years. Like it hasn't been 2 or 3 years. Am I getting fired for wrestling? Absolutely. They won. They fucking won. Absolutely. Fire Pro Wrestling is one of my favorite video games of all time. Ever since I emulated the Super Nintendo version, so I'm definitely getting that day one. Absolutely. And this version of Fire Pro is gonna be special because all the New Japan talent, not the New Japan is licensed in the game, so you'll have, because normally with Fire Pro Wrestling it features all these different types of wrestlers, but the problem is that they're not licensed because, you know, obviously they don't have the licenses to all these wrestling companies. So the wrestler names, you can tell by the wrestlers how they look, who they are, but they're under fake names and stuff like that, and the promotions are under fake names. So, but this one's special because they'll have what do you call it? The New Japan talent fully licensed in the game. So that's great. So. Yeah, I'm getting Spider-Man too. I don't know about Red Dead. I'm not into westerns, but I don't know. The gameplay I saw of Red Dead looked great. You know what I mean? I'm just not really into the setting. But yeah. So back to what I was talking about. You have this rivalry between the two men, and also like duly noted that Okada and Tanahashi hasn't beaten Okada in like, I'll probably say 2-3 years. Ever since Wrestle Kingdom 2 years ago, I think, when Okada finally beat Tanahashi in the Tokyo Dome. He hasn't beaten. I don't think he's beaten Okada. They've had a couple of draws in the G1 climax where they wrestled each other. They've had a couple of draws, and Okada, before the last defense before he lost to Omega, he beat Tanahashi. So you know, so it's a pretty big deal. It makes that match even more epic between the two men, because you know this is Tanahashi's chance, because Tanahashi's been around since I want to say 03, 02, 03. You know, he's kind of like, he's New Japan's version of John Cena, pretty much, and you know, like, he's been around for a long time. You know, the story about him is that he's dealing with a bunch of injuries and stuff like that, and you know, he's the old guy. He's the old guy in the block, even though I don't know how much older he is than a guy like Kota Ibushi. A lot of people would be surprised. Kota Ibushi, I think, he's in his mid and high 30s. You know, he's not a young, he's not a spring chicken, even though he flies like one. You know what I mean? It's insane. Yeah, I heard that too. I don't know about I don't know, man. Like, and to me, selfishly, I don't want them to go, because you know, I don't trust WWE doing the right thing with those guys. But that is a rumor. So that's the only thing that could derail. Um, that's the only thing that could derail Ibushi Omega. A future title match between the two if he goes to WWE along with the Young Bucks. So okay, so back to what I was talking about. Tanahashi, this is his chance to kind of like, pretty much get the monkey off his back against Okada. I don't know when the match is gonna take place, but it will. I'll definitely watch it when it takes place. So pretty much yeah, pretty much yeah. So hopefully yeah, their contracts end at the end of 2019. So end of 2018, early 2019. So we'll see what happens. So on to before I talk about the Punk Cabana situation, let me just talk about the Anvil Neidhart real quick. Another one of my another one of these dudes who I've been watching wrestling since I was a little kid has passed away. The Anvil, like, for me, my mom got me into wrestling when I was younger. She used to watch, and the thing with the 80s wrestlers is that they looked like those guys had like a lot of them had like a unique look to it. Look to them. You know what I mean? Like, especially like Anvil with the goatee and stuff and that, and obviously they had the tag team with Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation, one of the greatest tag teams in WWF history, and one of the greatest tag teams of all time. It had pretty much the typical tag team where you have one guy who's the powerhouse with the Anvil, and you have the dude who is the technical artist in Bret Hart. And obviously they made a great tag team. He passed away yesterday. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, before I get back to the Neidhart stuff, I'm definitely watching McGregor versus Nurmagomedov. If it happens, I don't know. You never know what these types of things. Nurmagomedov has a history of pulling out of fights because of injury. But I'm definitely watching. And it's also the same day as Florida FSU. I mean, not Florida, Miami FSU. So it's gonna be a big day for me personally. So I'm definitely watching that. So back to the Neidhart stuff. He passed away yesterday. It's unfortunate. But this, when you have so many wrestler deaths that you see, especially from the dudes from the 80s, like guys like Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man a couple years ago, and it's sad. And I saw this one picture that someone put up where they had the foundation, not the Hart Foundation from '97, where you have Brian Pillman, Anvil, Owen Hart, British Bulldog, and Bret Hart, and the only guy who's left that's alive is Bret Hart, and he's had his health scares in the past years. So it sucks. Obviously he's I know, Natty was his daughter. Is his daughter. It sucks that he passed away. I don't think they have. I haven't seen what was the cause of it. It's just unfortunate. So rest in peace to him and his family. It's a sad day. And speaking of sad in a different manner, it came out that Colt Cabana is suing CM Punk. I'm assuming this is for legal fees and stuff like that. I'm not gonna get too much into it because, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know what the hell. I don't know what. I don't know who's responsible for this and responsible for that. But thankfully, because of Solid Monster, I listen to him. I'm a big fan of his. He kind of read the 15-page. I don't know what you call it. He read all 50 pages of this lawsuit that Cabana claimed, and pretty much the gist of it is that he was promised that Punk was going to take care of the bills, the bills for the lawyer and shit like that. And unfortunately, I guess that didn't happen. And the funny thing is, there's been a lot of rumors about why both these dudes are not friends anymore. And now, obviously Colt Cabana and CM Punk, they've known each other for years. I know they started. I don't know if they met via wrestling. I assume that they did. Both of them are Chicago natives, and both of them, they were staples in Ring of Honor for a long time. They actually, I think they came into WWE, not at the same time, but at least close to the same time. But obviously Punk, became a bigger star or whatever, and Cabana left. But they've been friends for years. I mean, and to see them not be friends anymore is sad. You know what I mean? Like, it really is sad. Now, it was initially reported that the reason why they fell out was because Punk found out that Punk apparently found out that Cabana went to a WWE show, and I guess Punk wasn't happy with it because the dude who was suing them was Dr. Amen, who worked for WWE, and it was part of that classic episode that dropped on Thanksgiving. And I have a short story about that when I get to it. He was the doctor. Now they didn't mention him by name, but that's the doctor they were talking about in that famous podcast that Cabana did with Punk. And it was believed that was the reason why they fell out. Now, according to what Salamanca was reading, and I'm just going by just my thought process on this. The reason why I think they fell out was because of this, because of who was going to take care of the lawsuit bill, like the lawyer fees. Because the thing is this, like Colt Cabana, by all accounts, got screwed here because all he did was press record. Like, apparently Punk was the one that wanted to air everything out. There was a lot of rumors surrounding his departure from WWE. Really didn't hear much from him until he did the podcast with Cabana. And Cabana got sued in part, and Salamanca covered this. The reason why he was part of the suit was because I guess Dr. Amen sent a letter to Cabana through lawyers to take down the podcast. And obviously, since these two men are friends, Cabana told Punk, and Punk apparently said that he'll take care of it, and that's why he didn't take it down. Now, if Cabana had taken it down, maybe he might not have gotten caught up in all this, and maybe he might not have gotten sued along with Punk. So I think that's where everything kind of stems from. That's where I think their friendship ended. I don't think him reportedly going to WWE, I don't think that help matters. You know what I mean? Because according to some people, and Corey Graves kind of echoed this, in his little Twitter diatribe, that Punk has kind of excommunicated himself from everyone in WWE, and when you have your best friend going to a show, with the company that is trying to sue you guys, then I can understand Punk being upset about that. But ultimately, if what they're saying is, if what Cabana's side is truthful about what Punk said he was gonna do, I can understand and side with Cabana on it. Now Punk hasn't really said anything. I don't think I've seen anything from his Twitter. I do follow both men on Twitter. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's just a sad situation that this happened to friends. And as someone who has a relatively small circle, I can't imagine kind of having like just not talking to your friends anymore. Kind of having a fractured relationship with your friends. Like that it just sucks. Like it's a bad situation. Now, before I go, let me discuss this the story regarding the podcast, right? So I'm the podcast happened, I want to say 4 or 5 years ago. This is a long time ago. This podcast happened, right? And obviously I'm at the time I'm listening to Cabana. I like listening to Cabana's podcast, and I was bored at work one day. and I see that there was an update, and it was CM Punk. It was a CM Punk interview, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting, because like at the time, Punk had walked out, didn't really say anything about why he walked out, so this was this was apparently his side of the story. Now, unfortunately, I tried to download it, but it wouldn't download on my podcast app. Something happened, and apparently, I guess what happened was, I mean, it was just people were like crashing the app. I guess the app crashed or something like that. The feeds crashed or whatever because there were so many people downloading it. So what I had to do is I had to go online. I pretty much had to go to the dark webs to find this fucking podcast. You know what I mean? Like and I downloaded it from a site and I listened to it from there. It was nuts, absolutely nuts. And I'm listening to it as I'm pretty much riding my bike home. And I think that I don't know how long the podcast was, but it was a long podcast. It was a bombshell podcast, man. Like, to me, it was the most fascinating piece of audio that I think I've ever heard. It was that insane. That podcast was that insane. So yeah. So I mean, if you haven't listened to it, you can find it, on Twitter, YouTube. You can find it on YouTube, whatever. You'll find if you haven't listened to it. It was just fascinating. It was just the podcast. All of it was fascinating. Plus, the follow-up podcast also was fascinating with him. So, it was crazy, man. It was just absolutely nuts. So anyway, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything else to talk about. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Anyways, I am out. Peace. I got someplace to go. I'm out.